Good morning, everyone. It is episode 31, and it's a busy start to the week. First up, I've got a phone call this morning that could turn into something very big. Could be a nothing burger. Can't say much more about it. Hopefully, I will be able to later on in the episode. But what I can talk about is the publish of the new video, the bathroom vanities. That's coming out in 20 minutes. I'm really excited to see how this one does. So with the main video ready to go, I'm now going to create some shorts from it. Just cut up some bits of the video, make them vertical, and get ready to post those. So alongside the video, I'll post the shorts as well to attract different types of audiences. Oh man, this is outside of furniture making, but I just had a phone call from someone trying to sell me solar panels. And I'm 90% sure it was an AI voice, but wow, it was done well. It's a wild time to be alive. Okay, I now have a total of 9 videos, 9 shorts that I can use. I'll send these over to my phone now and start uploading them. I'll probably look at doing a schedule of 2 a day. I've tried doing 3 a day, but I think I'm just gonna reduce it so I have more videos over more days to try and keep that momentum going. The main reason I want to do 2 though is there's one in the morning, that's for the Australian audience, and then one in the evening or late evening, and that's for the American audience. So try and make sure that content is coming out in both those different time zones. All right, that's done. Now I've got to find something else to do with the rest of it. I always find this with the publish days. I'm so invested in this video. It's just been all I've been thinking about for the last week. I've been up, had 2 late nights in a row now, making sure that the edit's done. It's just all around it. And then I hit the publish button and I go, now what? But I do have 2 things that I need to start work on. One of them I will. Well, actually both of them I probably will today. I've just filmed the intro for what's likely going to be the next video, and that is making a one of these side tables. So a few months ago, I made a video where I talked about making this easily manufacturable side table, and it'll use this template, and that's pretty much all there is to it, to the build. Since putting out that video, the client who bought the vanities from me saw that video and said, oh, actually, can I talk to you about it? Maybe get a couple of those side tables. So I've said to her, yeah, cool. Firstly, though, I need to figure out how much I'm going to charge for this. And as part of that, I want to build another side table and really map out the time it takes. So I'm going to be using the leftover Vic Ash from that vanity build, and I'm going to turn this into a video essentially documenting how it started with the idea, this client potentially getting it, and if the client does decide to go ahead and buy one of them, what that looks like moving forward. The vanities video has now been up for 10 hours, and so far it is my 3rd best performing video, just behind the Bunnings one. And then the top one was the reptile enclosure from earlier in the year. So what this means is from 2024, 3 of my videos have been in the top 3, which is awesome. So that means that my videos are either getting better, so I'm either getting better at creating videos, or the YouTube algorithm is seeing my videos in a more positive light. So either way, hopefully this trend continues. And one of the really satisfying things about this is back in August of 23, I went on that whole thing about pulling down half of my YouTube videos, my main performer, that concrete countertop, pulling that video down with the idea that I'm going to restart my audience. So it was an experiment and I didn't know how it was going to go, and I was losing a lot in the process, but essentially I wanted to correct the audience that I had. So instead of having a DIY audience, I wanted it to become woodworking furniture making. And after the first 6 months, I felt like it may have been a mistake. Well, not a mistake, but I certainly felt like it wasn't working. And then after a year, still, it wasn't working out. But now, finally, this could be an indication that the experiment worked. The thing that I'm noticing on my analytics that YouTube keeps telling me with the last few videos that I've published is that my audience is choosing to watch my videos. So the reason my videos are doing well and they're getting promoted is because YouTube's seeing that my audience is choosing to watch them. Now, back in August of 23, when I published a video, my audience wouldn't watch. And so the video was just tanking. So the reason I did this whole experiment of getting rid of those videos that were not perfectly aligned with what I was doing, the reason I set those all to private is to get the right audience so that this happens. So that when I publish a video, the audience that I'm amassing want to watch my videos because they're the right audience. So everything I'm seeing is super positive. It's showing that the experiment worked. Hopefully this just continues. Okay, so next job. I went around to a potential client's house over the weekend to measure up a room. They are looking for a 3-sided shelf system, cupboards at the bottom, shelves at the top, floor to ceiling, some diagonal corners, quite a big design. This is actually someone who contacted me, but then also saw my stuff online. So it was quite a nice meeting with him, because generally when I go meet a client, one of the first things I have to do, whether it's actively or passively, I have to convince that person that I'm the person they want to work with and that I'm not some kind of scam artist. So I've got to subtly add in work that I've done, be a very I don't want to say overly genuine, but I've got to, in that short period of time, convince them that I'm a good dude to work with. So this time around, I could walk in, shake the guy's hand and say, hey, you know pretty much everything there is to know about me. You know what I do, you know how I operate, you know all of it. So we could just skip all of that, which was really cool. Anyway, I've taken some notes, so I'm going to start now in SketchUp doing this. This is probably going to take me a while, but I'm going to do something relatively simple. Mostly because I want to give them an idea of cost, because honestly, this is like a $10,000 job. It's going to be expensive. They are doing a whole home renovation, so I would expect that they understand that this is an expensive time in their life. So everything is going to be relatively expensive, but still, I just want to get them some rough idea of cost. So if it is way over price, well, then we can stop now and not spend too much time on it. So I'll get this drawing done now, and as soon as I've finished, I'll show you guys what it looks like. In one of my last videos, someone called out the undesirable sound in this office, and it kicked me into gear. They basically picked up that reverb that's coming from behind here with this light timber desk and that light plywood. That's just a reverb nightmare. So I am now making a priority to make the second sound panel that's going to go behind the screen. So this is a 100 mil deep panel of foam, stretches the whole width of this bay. It's almost the height, it's about 600 high, and it has made such a difference because this timber desk and this wall are both very light plywood, and so they just resonate like crazy. But now, as you can hear while I've just closed the door and I'm standing here, all of the resonance off these are just being trapped by that. I've got these two panels here. I don't know how much they're doing, but all of it's being trapped by that, and it has made such an improvement. And now with everything installed in place, it just disappears
with the black wall behind it. You don't even notice it there. It's also doing something else which I hadn't planned on. There's cables running out the back of my Mac Mini and then up through the shelf, and they are hidden behind the panel, which is great. So any more cables that I have to run up into the ceiling, they'll be hidden behind that, which is great. And then obviously the sound has massively improved. So I think the last thing I'm going to do is put something else up here. I may just get a few more of these panels. I'd hope to leave this as plywood, but the amount of improvement that has made makes me want to put a little bit more up here. So earlier in the video, I talked about a meeting that I had that I was really excited about. I can talk about it now. So I was contacted by Feast Watson to ask if I want to be involved in some content creation. I said yes, because I've used their products in the past and I really do like their products. I've used their Wipe-On Poly and their orange oil. I like both of them. So they have sent me out a product to try. It's the Scandinavian oil. Oh, awesome. And some hard wax as well. There's this one over here. The timing is perfect because I'm going to be using this finish on the side table that I'm working on. So I'm quite excited to get this today so I can get cracking on that. And the hard wax is something I've wanted to use for a while. I don't have a project for it at this time, but I will come up with something just to give it a go and get that video made.
Good evening. North Queensland is in the grips of a major flood emergency.
I've never seen it this wet before.
After more than 24 hours of unrelenting rain in Townsville and areas further north, residents are being told to prepare to leave. Authorities are bracing for the worst, with the Bureau warning conditions are only set to intensify from Cairns down to Mackay.
Close the door, bud. This feels like a pretty common sight these days. Yeah, not much to say. It's taken 4 hours for the rainwater to come up and just take over this place. I'm not even bummed. Well, I mean, I'm not stoked, but I'm not even upset about it anymore. It's just, this is just my workshop. One positive today, that was where the chest of drawers were, and the client came by about an hour ago in the pouring rain to pick it up. Kudos to him. Yeah, so I'm stoked to have the space back in the workshop, and yeah, it's going to help with cleanup, just not having that in the way. This is not normally a river. This is normally open, grassy fields. It's 7 o'clock on Saturday morning. Yesterday we had a lot of rain. Obviously the workshop flooded, but overnight there was a big lull. Awesome. A lot of the water cleared. The workshop's still stuffed, but you know, that's going to take a while. Today though, apparently is going to be the big day where we're going to see even more rain. So I'm out and about this morning, just getting some supplies, petrol for the generator, stocking up on some food, because there is a chance that we could be flooded. I'm hoping it's not going to happen, but obviously you've got to prepare for the worst. But if we do flood completely to the point where we're locked in, that will mean that the workshop is completely underwater, which I'm trying not to think about. Unfortunately, it hasn't turned down like I'd hoped. We've just had about an hour now of intense rain. The top for the pool has ripped off on most of the corners, so I've essentially pulled that off. The whole thing is going to have to come down. It's absolutely bucketing. The river's on its way in. Yeah, I don't know how long this is going to last for. I don't think it's going to be too long, but it didn't ease off for the rest of the day like I'd hoped. I've just pitched up at someone's house. This tree has fallen down, and I'm going to take some of the timber. Nice little crotch section there, but more importantly is this guy here. I have no idea how I'm going to get this out. There's just arrived. We reckon 1,200. We'll drop that, see if we can pick it up as is. If not, then cut it down the middle. A couple things I want to mention here. First is you can see I'm not wearing any safety glasses. The reason is the rain was just so heavy that I couldn't see through my safety glasses. So in my opinion, having safety glasses that you can't see through is more dangerous than just taking them off. On this first log, we cut it straight down the middle and took the two halves away. They were incredibly heavy. And then that section just below it, which was then 1.8 meters long, it was just too big. So that one got cut into quarters. Even those were still ridiculously heavy.
Well, couldn't film because of the rain, but I'm sure you can see by what I look like. That was a messy job. I am stuffed. But before I set off, Ned, you are an absolute legend, sir. He dropped everything and came around this afternoon on no notice, and I would not have been able to do this without him. So thank you, sir. You have a slab of super crisp coming your way. Well, it has been around 10 days of just constant grey skies, but finally the rain has eased off. Sun's out. It's a good time to be in Townsville. Can't wait for everything to dry out. Just to put this event in perspective, it rained, and this is not exaggeration, right? When someone says it rains for 2 days, they often mean like it rained, it stopped, but it's grey, and then it started again. It rained for 4 days, had a break, and then continued for another 5. I have never in my life seen so many days of rain, just one after the other. Some days it wasn't as hard as others, but the problem was by the end of this event, it just took a half an hour downpour, because when it rains here, it just opens. It just took a half an hour downpour on the saturated ground, and all the flooding started. And then it would subside over a couple of hours, another downpour, and everything comes up. So yeah, it was a long 10 days. Anyway, sun's out today, stuff's gonna start drying. The workshop's looking better already. Yep, workshop's looking better already, and it's time to get back to work. And the last thing I'm gonna leave this episode on, well, it's actually two things. The first is that I have a pretty almost solid confirmation on my next commission, which is gonna be another bathroom vanity. It's kind of 2 bathroom vanities stuck together to create one long, almost 3 meter long vanity. So a fairly nice sized job, pretty excited about it. I don't have the deposit yet, so it's not confirmed, but the client has verbally said that they're going to go ahead. So that's pretty exciting. The other side table is basically done. It just needs one more coat of finish, and then this is going to go up for sale. Next episode, I'll talk more about this vanity once I've got a bit more information. I'm quite excited about it. It's going to be a great way to start the year off. I'm really hoping that deposit comes through and it turns into a real job. But thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. As always, feel free to send me any questions or comments down below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.